my gorgeous babes, and welcome back to the Bad Bitch Academy. It's your girl Amber the Baddie. Make sure to follow me on Instagram first of all, okay? And I was just high dancing around my house right now, and I was inspired to make this video. I know so many of you are thinking about becoming a stripper, or you're preparing for it, you've made the decision, you're gonna fucking do it. And I have some advice for you and some things that I want to tell you to really help you just thrive on your first couple of days, and really just some things that I wish someone would have told me when I first started. So watch the whole video. You're gonna hear some really uplifting and empowering tips and suggestions that are really here to help you on your journey. But first of all, can we just take a second to appreciate how cute this little, I don't know, gypsy outfit is? The booty just shakes so nicely. Oh my god, I love dressing up and being a hottie and in my house on a random Sunday afternoon. Anyway, so some tips for you lovely beginner strippers. Number one, you are a bad fucking bitch. You are hot as fuck. And do not let anybody or anything or your insecurities or comparison make you think otherwise, okay? There will be girls who you personally think might be prettier than you or might have a better body than you. Customers might say some weird things that make you feel insecure, but just don't ever believe them because it's bullshit. You're hot as fuck, you're a bad fucking bitch, and there's nothing that will ever change that. So that is the number one thing that I want you to remember. And really show up as this most confident version of yourself. Try to have fun. I know it can be very nerve-wracking, it could be scary, it could be intimidating, but just go with the mindset of I'm here to have fun. I'm here to have a good time, to be myself, to be sexy and sensual, and see how much money I can make and where the night goes, and just show up as this just fun person. And don't let your insecurities make you shrink yourself. Don't let it make you feel shy. The strip club is such a place where you get to be your fullest, most authentic self. So let your authenticity shine when you're at work. My second thing that I want to say is to focus on the customers first, not the girls. I get it, you're new, you want to look around the room, see what everyone else is doing, kind of take notes perhaps, but I really feel like if you put all of your energy and intention in talking to the customers, that is where you're going to make your money, because by watching the other girls, that's how we get into comparison. That's how we start thinking, okay, how can I be like them? They're so hot, I'm not good enough. It kind of just can lead to this negative spiral. So when you're at work, spend all your energy talking to the customers, having conversations, interacting with the guys. Of course, don't be afraid to make friends and ask questions and have connections with the other dancers, but most of your attention should be focused on the customers, because the other girls, they're not going to be the ones making you money. It's going to be you and the customers. My third tip, which is maybe even the biggest one, is you are here to seduce these men. You're not here to make friends. You're not here to chat and talk to them like you're at a fucking bar. You are not talking to a hot guy at a club. You are here to make money. You are here to seduce these men. They don't care about you. They don't really care about where you're from, what you do in the daytime, what are your hobbies. I used to think that. I used to be like, fuck, what do I talk about with these guys? What kind of conversations do I have? I need to get to know them. What do you do for work? All these fucking things that nobody really cares about, because at the end of the night, they are going to be a blank face and a dollar bill. Like, I don't remember 99% of the people that I meet in the club, because it's not that important, and it goes both ways. And it's not in a disrespectful way, but it's like, we know we are both here to have a fun, sexy, enjoyable experience, and that's all that it is. So you are here to seduce. Keep your conversation sexy. Keep your conversations in the present in the strip club. Don't talk about politics or their kids or their girlfriends or, you know, too much about what they do for work. Really keep it in the present, because you end up putting yourself in the friend zone. I used to do this all the time, where it's like, I'm having a good conversation, we're talking about traveling in life, and in the back of my head I'm like, fuck, how do I transition this into getting a lap dance? How do we go from talking about slavery and immigration laws to my titties in your face? And I used to always struggle with like rearing the conversation back to where I wanted it to be, because I would put myself in that friend zone. So just try not to do it. Keep it sexy. Ask them, what are their turn-ons? What do they find the sexiest in women? What are their fantasies? Do they have any kinks that they have? Do they have any desires or fantasies that they haven't experienced yet? And talk about yours. And that is going to help you transition into like getting a lap dance, talking about, oh, you know, I like it rough. I love a hand on my throat. I love being dominant. How about I show you my sexy energy in a VIP or in a lap dance? So much easier to transition from that to that instead of, fuck, Donald Trump, all this bullshit. Oh yeah, by the way, you want my ass in your face? You see how that transition is hard? So keep that in mind. My fourth tip is to talk to everyone. Forget about your limiting beliefs and your doubts and, oh, Mexican guys don't like me. This kind of person's not into me. I don't think that guy's gonna want to talk to me. Fuck all that bullshit and talk to everyone. Just do it. You never know who's going to be that customer to make your night. You never know who's going to vibe with you. So just work the room, talk to every single customer. Don't be afraid to get rejected. They might say no, they might say not right now, I'm not interested. Okay, cool. You move on and you keep pushing. And that's all that it is. So really, like, you want to talk to the whole room and really try, put in your effort, let everybody know who you are, and just see who you get. My fifth tip is to tell everybody you're new. Guys love a newbie, they love a new girl. So let them know, it's my first night here. It's my first week, my first month. I just started working here. I'm new to being a stripper. I'm so nervous. I didn't know what to expect. Talk about why you got into dancing. What are your goals? Are you going to school? Did you just move into town? Have you always wanted to try it, but you never had the balls? Have that as that's a great conversation starter. And guys love to support newbies. There is a very high percentage that even if they're not super attracted to you, or even if they usually don't get lap dances, they might with you because because you're new and they want to support you. The next thing I want to say is to trust your intuition. If you get weird vibes from someone when you're talking to them, don't be afraid to walk away. A couple of signs that you might notice in your body is like, number one, you might start to physically feel contracted. If you start holding your breath, your body feels tense, you feel uncomfortable. These are signs from your intuition that this might not be the right person to talk to. If a guy is super handsy with you, during your first conversation, like you're not even getting a lap dance and he's trying to touch you and grab your ass and let me see your pussy, red flag. He's gonna be too much in a lap dance. So don't be afraid to walk away. And if you're like, how do I walk away mid-conversation? Here are some tips. You can say, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some water. I just ordered a pizza and it just got delivered. Oh, my friend just got here. Hold on, I'm gonna go say hi. And just leave. Walk away. Doesn't even matter. They are irrelevant if they give you weird vibes. Get up, walk away, move on to someone else. You are going to save yourself a lot of time and energy knowing when to walk away from situations instead of hanging around waiting for that perfect moment. So don't be afraid to walk away. Another tip of like, when should I walk away from a customer? If you are having a really boring conversation, that's a good sign that he's not into you. Guys sometimes feel really shy and uncomfortable telling a girl, like, how do I tell her I'm not interested without being an asshole? And a lot of times they just try to be boring. So if they're not into you, they will start replying to you with one word sentences. Oh, how was your day? Good. What do you do for work? Work. Have you ever been here before? Yep. If you're not getting any energy back from them, that's a sign that he's not into you, and to just get up and move along. And that's okay, because you don't want to spend 20-30 minutes with someone who's not going to spend money on you. So only go to where your energy and your presence is welcomed and appreciated. And if you're not getting the vibe, I always just say, like, if I'm talking to someone I can feel he might not be into me, I'll be like, hey, do you want to get a lap dance? No? Okay, have a good one. And if I just, the second that I start to feel like the connection isn't there, I will still ask for a lap dance, because you never know if these guys are just awkward as fuck. So I will still just ask, because you just have to ask. And if not, okay, I get up and I keep moving along. And kind of leading into that is ask and you shall receive. There was this girl that I talked to at work, and she was like, wow, how do you get so many lap dances? Like, I really just, how do you do it? And I was like, I don't know, I just ask. And she was like, what? You ask? Like, I always wait for them to ask me for a lap dance. And I'm like, that's where you're fucking up, girl. You can't be afraid to ask. So ask for a lap dance, ask for tips, ask for them to buy you a drink. You need to put yourself out there and ask for what you want, and you will often get exactly what you want. So get used to it. In the first 5 minutes of conversation, I would say ask them for a dance. Maybe the first 10 minutes. Because if they're into you, and if they think you're hot, and if they like you, of course they're gonna say yes. Like, why the fuck wouldn't they say yes? So don't feel like you have to spend so much time with these guys to convince them, because the second they see you and feel your vibe and feel your energy, they already made up in their mind if it's a yes or a no, and they're just waiting for you to ask for it. And something else to know is, like, men get turned on by paying you and by taking care of you and spoiling you and providing for you. So don't feel greedy or like you're being a bad person for asking for money, because they like it. That's what they're there for. They wouldn't be at a strip club if they didn't want to pay a beautiful woman to be around them and to hang out with them. So that's what they're there for, and don't feel like you're being a bad person for asking for money. Another thing is to speak your boundaries up front the first time. I will be honest, I sometimes still struggle with this. And this is something that I'm still continuously working through myself. But it's like, if someone does something that you don't like, say it the first time. I still, like I said, I still am sometimes the girl who are like, I'm giving a guy a lap dance and I see his hands moving here, trying to touch me. And instead of saying, hey, just don't touch my pussy, I'll just move his hand, because I don't want to make the vibe awkward, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, the times where I just say it up front, they stop, they respect. They're like, oh shoot, my bad, I don't want to disrespect you, I will follow your rules. But guys like to play stupid unless you really lay it out on the table for them. So if a guy is doing something you don't like, just tell him right away. It's gonna save you so much trauma and so much uncomfortable feelings, and just by speaking what you do and you don't want. So practice that. Don't make it a habit of letting things slide too much, because if you're in a room with someone for an hour, you don't want to keep moving their hand and trying to be like, yo, don't suck my titties, don't touch my pussy, don't put your finger in my ass, don't lick me, don't kiss me. Like, just tell them right away. I sometimes say, okay, I've got 2 rules for my dances. My first rule is I want your hands on me at all times. And my second rule is just don't touch my pussy and don't kiss or lick me. can you see that for one, it's sexy? It's like, oh my God, my hand's on you. But two, I'm also speaking my boundaries about where I don't want to be touched. And they always respect it, and guys are usually really nice about it. And something else for you to know is that you owe these men nothing. You don't owe them shit. They're not paying for your body. They're not paying to touch you. They're paying to be in your presence. That's the number one thing. And if, you know, for example, guys like trying to like suck on your titties and you're like, hey, don't do that. And he's like, oh, well, I gave another girl lap dance and she let me do it. So I should, that's what lap dances are for, right? No, it's not. Just because someone else allows something doesn't mean that you have to. And never let someone trick you or pressure you into feeling like you have to do anything you don't want to do, because you don't, and it's bullshit. So just really know that and stand up for yourself. Know what your own boundaries are. Think about it ahead of time. Okay, what would I be okay with? What wouldn't I be okay with? You can always change your mind in the moment. Let's be straight up. You might be giving the hottest guy a lap dance and be like, you know what? If he wants to fucking kiss my neck, I am not gonna say no, because that shit is turning me on. That's cool. But then 10 minutes later, a fucking 600-pound fucking sweaty guy who smells like onions tries to do it, you could be like, that is a no-go, baby. Do not even try it. So you can make up your rules. They can change depending on who you're with, on what your vibe is, but you are the head bitch in charge, and that is all that matters. Another tip is just to don't ever, 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 ever give up. I'm gonna be honest with you. It can be rough sometimes. You might get a lot of rejection. I know there was a time, I think like a week or two ago, where for 5 hours, I was getting hardcore rejected. Everybody was saying no to me. No, thank you. You're not my type. I don't want to spend money. And I was starting to get annoyed. I'm like, damn, I see other girls getting dances, but it feels like I'm the only one who's not. But then, leading to my next point, you never know who is going to be that one customer to make your night, because all you need is one person. So that same day, 5 hours of no's, I met one guy who got 2 champagne rooms with me and tipped me $500. I made all my money from one person who was at the last hour of the night. So you never know what to expect. You never know who's gonna come your way. Don't give up. It always, like, especially when you're having a hard night, like my favorite affirmation is like, it only takes one person and he is about to walk in the door at any moment. It only takes one person to make my night, and he is about to walk through the door any moment. And fucking often, he walks through the door. So always keep that in mind. And you might have some mean or rude customers. Don't take shit personally. Guys are stupid, and they're sometimes assholes. And so are women. People in general can be assholes. Just don't take shit personally. If someone says something rude or mean, be like, whatever, who cares? Their opinion is fucking worthless. It means absolutely nothing. It has no value. So don't let shit get to you. Don't let things stick with you. I've had people say some weird shit like, I'm usually not into black women, but like, you're actually kind of attractive. And it could be so easy for me to be insulted and be like, oh my God, you're so rude, you're so racist. How dare you talk about black women like that? And I could get my fucking panties in a bunch. But at the end of the day, whose energy is that affecting? That's affecting my energy, not his. He's gonna leave and go on with his life, and I can stay mad about it all night and all week and start creating these fucking beliefs. Or I could be like, that guy's a fucking idiot, and let it go and forget it happened and not let it get to you. And the easier you can let shit go, you're gonna have a much more enjoyable experience and not get your feelings hurt, and just learn to not give a fuck about what people say, because people are literally stupid. Also, be patient with yourself. You're new. You're not gonna get everything right. You might look awkward as fuck on stage. You might have a really hard time starting conversations and talking to customers. You might not be great at asking for lap dances. You might feel awkward as fuck in an hour VIP, but you are always going to be improving. You're going to be getting better. You're going to continue leveling up your skills, especially if you invest in my course, girl. You're going to level up your skills so fucking fast. You're going to feel like a pro right away. Be patient with yourself. You are going to get better, and think of it as like, this is just one night out of 10,000. You're gonna work 10,000 nights as a stripper. Who cares if you have 1 or 2 or 20 awkward nights? It doesn't matter in the big scheme of things, so don't let it get you down. And my last tip is to always be fucking grateful. Always sink into gratitude. When you make $1,000 nights, obviously feel grateful. But when you make a $25 night like I did yesterday, once again, always feel grateful. I was like, you know what? I made $25, but I got to be with my girlfriends at work. I had some fun conversations. I was dressed up and looking cute in lingerie, vibing to the music. I got to just express my sexuality. I only worked like 3 or 4 hours and I made $2,000 the other night. So like, who fucking cares? And just to sink into gratitude and be like, you know what? It doesn't even matter. I am having fun. I'm grateful for this job. I'm grateful for the freedom and the abundance and the self-expression that comes with it. And I'm happy. So when you're having a bad night, always feel grateful. Don't get into a negative mindset, because you are going to have so many more good, amazing nights than you will have bad nights. So I love you so much. I hope this was helpful for you. Now, if you are a new stripper, girl, I just launched a new masterclass, Stripper 101 5K in 5 days. This really teaches you those foundational basics to get you started, to help you find your club, pick your shifts, know what to bring, know how to get hired, know the art of seduction, how to talk to customers, how to ask for dances and ask for tips. And this masterclass is only $111, which I promise you, you are gonna make back in your first fucking day, if not your first hour. So save yourself the confusion, the waste of time, the awkwardness of going to work feeling like you don't know what the fuck to do, and just invest in this masterclass. It's an hour and 20 minutes. You can literally watch it, go to work, and you're gonna see a massive difference in how much money you make. So I'm gonna have information for that in the description. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Please subscribe to my channel and let me know which of these tips were helpful for you. I love you. Mwah.